Hi everyone. Today I'll explain you a song for Saint Cecilia's Day, 1687. This lyrical poem has been composed by the poet laureate of 1668, John Dryden. This poem is wrapped with beautiful religious themes and symbols. Saint Cecilia was a legendary figure of the 2nd century who is remembered as an innovator of organ music. Let me tell you the legend of Saint Cecilia. She was a Roman martyr, and once on her wedding day she started singing for the guests, and hearing her melodious voice, an angel passing through the earth mistook the land to be heaven, thinking that such a beautiful and harmonious song can be produced in heaven only. See, Dryden is not talking about music which is just a sense appealing. According to him, music has a spiritual aspect as well. He connects music with heaven and also with the creation of this universe. All scriptures have their own theory regarding the creation and the beginning of life on earth. Our Hindu scriptures present the trinity of gods, means Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, to create and to destroy the universe. Like Brahma is assigned to create, Vishnu is to maintain the balance of virtue and vice, and Mahesh to destroy the creation. Similar concepts are found in the Bible as well. Bible presents the universe as a chaos, and it says that the God fixed this chaos and began the process of creation. He generated reptiles and other animals first, and then he created Adam, the first man, and out of his rib he created Eve, the first woman. So, this is how the creation took place according to the Bible. We can also associate this concept of Dryden with a doctrine introduced by Pythagoras, which revealed that a music runs through the universe. Well, you can also find some articles on Google, and you can also search some videos on YouTube about some noises produced by the planets. The present poem was written to commemorate the Saint Cecilia's Day, which has been celebrated on 22 November. This day is celebrated to pay homage to Saint Cecilia, who represents music as a divine art. Here, Dryden has associated music with Christian and some pagan religions as well. Of course, music is a creative force in Dryden's opinion. Let's start with the poem now. From harmony, from heavenly harmony, this universal frame began when nature underneath a heap of serene atoms lay, and could not heave her head. The tuneful voice was heard from high, "Arise, ye more than dead." Then cold and hot and moist and dry, in order to their stations leap, and music's power obey. From harmony, from heavenly harmony, this universal frame began. From harmony to harmony, through all the compass of the notes it ran. The diapason closing full in man. The beginning line of this poem emphasizes over the significance of music as an essential element of the universe. Dryden says, that the universe had been created out of musical harmony. Thus, Dryden says that the creation took place along with the notes of music. When nature underneath a leap of zarring atoms means that initially, when everything was in flux and everything was chaotic in the universe and nature was lying dormant because it was stabilized by the dead atoms. Atoms were dead means they were not active as life had not yet been introduced to disturb them. So the hour before creation was lifeless, dead, and dormant together. But then God infused music, and the creation took place. I would like to bring another fact to your notice that this poem is an ode. Ode is a poem that is written in praise of a particular person or a thing. It has lyrical properties as well. Here, Dryden is writing on Saint Cecilia, and this is how he is praising her in this poem. Now, poet says, when heaven played music, so that the creation can take place, the dead atoms could no more cling with the surface, and they started following the musical notes. This heavenly melody could be heard from all heights, and with this harmony, earth was commanded to arise and to make a comeback to life. So, originated from heaven, this music passed through many stations, like it went through many cold, humid, hot, and dry stations. So, this is how life was introduced in different parts of Earth with different climates, and every atom on Earth obeyed the power of music. Man was last to be produced in this list of creatures, and Dryden says that every life was infused with each note of the divine music, thus continuing the process of this grand creation. When God reached to man, the music stopped with a loud bang. Diapason is the same sound that you also hear when a song ends with a loud string of piano or guitar. So it's with this bang that man came into existence. Now, students, you have seen how beautifully the poet has connected music with the biblical theory of creation. Look at the next stanza now. And the next stanza goes like, what passion cannot music raise and quell? When Jubal struck the corded shell, his listening brethren stood around, and wondering on their faces fell to worship that celestial sound. Less than a god they thought there could not dwell within the hollow of that shell that spoke so sweetly and so well that what passion cannot music raise and quell. Here Dryden says that all our passions are guided by music. No doubt, music has capacity to move us. It can elate us, scandalize us, inspire us, and sadden us. In this stanza, Dryden is alluding from Bible again. Jubal has been hailed as the father of flute and pipe players. Bible says that once when Jubal played his instrument, he mesmerized everyone with his melody, and it seemed as if some god had abided in his throat. Brethren means brothers, so here it refers to all people who surrounded him when he was playing. Now, Dryden says that not only humans but gods also got fascinated towards this sweet harmony that was being produced by Jubal. They all surrounded him and gazed him with wonder and decided to worship this celestial music, means heavenly music. All were spellbound with the music that they thought there must be some god inside the shell of that instrument who is forming such melodious voice there. Perhaps because they were not able to expect that a human being without any divine assistance can produce such a lovely sound. Actually, this instrument of jubal was made up of the outer skin of tortoise. So, shell refers to this skin of tortoise. The final line is repeating the same idea as how our moods get influenced with music. Next stanza. The trumpet's loud clangor excites us to arms with shrill notes of anger and mortal alarms. The double 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 beat of the thundering drum cries, "Hark the foe come! Charge, charge, it's too late to retreat." See, in previous stanza, Dryden emphasized over the influence of music in our states of mind. In this stanza, he is describing the motivational property of music. Dryden has presented a battlefield scene here where two armies are ready to fight. Okay, so you might have seen that different battalions of our armies have different slogans to pronounce, and you might have heard our soldiers reciting their slogans before practicing an operation. So it shows the importance of music to a soldier, right? It repletes him with overwhelming zeal and courage. Dryden is talking about the same thing here. He's talking about the role of trumpet in a battlefield. See, trumpet is a kind of horn that is mostly being played by the commander of an army. It manifests the beginning of war in warfield. You can compare trumpet with conch shell or shankh in Hindi. You might have heard how Vibhishan blew shell or shankh when Lord Rama was prepared to fight with Ravan, and how Bhishma from Kaurav army and Lord Krishna from Pandav side blew it during the war of Mahabharata. So as we blew shell, the Europeans blew trumpet. The concept is same. This is how we can say that the vibrations coming out of these instruments certainly have some psychological effect on the soldier that suddenly moves them. Clangor refers to a loud and repeating sound. Now Dryden says that the clangor or the sharp sound of trumpet ignites courage in army men. The trumpet sound in this battlefield would join the beats of drum. The double 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 beat denotes the sound of drum. So Dryden says that it seems as if the drum conveys a message to soldiers to charge, to attack, or to strike at the enemy army, and it reminds them that there is no time to lose, no time to retreat, and no time to look behind. So, under the effect of this music, which is being produced by drums and trumpets, soldiers get jerked with music and become adamant to fight bravely and conquer their enemy. The soft complaining flute in dying notes discovers the woes of hopeless lovers whose dirge is whispered by the wobbling lute. We saw that Dryden described the vital role played by trumpet and drum in the battlefield in this stanza, and in the next stanza, he will add more instrument in his list. Basically, Dryden is elucidating different emotions ignited by different instruments. Here he associates flute or lute with the burning passions of a disappointed lover. So, the soft complaining flute refers to the delicate tune of flute which expresses the complaining emotions of a rejected lover or a deserted lover. The dying notes denotes the declining tune of flute that pierces the heart of a listener with notes of sorrow and distress. Woe means trouble or grief. So here Dryden says that the woes of a disappointed lover are best expressed through flute. And it seems as if it sings a dirge for this rejected lover. Dirge means a mourning song or a lamenting song. Sharp violins proclaim their jealous pangs and desperation, fury, frantic indignation, depth of pains, and height of passion for the fair, disdainful dame. The next musical instrument in Dryden's list is violin, which aptly expresses the insecurities of a jealous lover who has lost his beloved for someone. You might have heard the sharp music of violin many times, and here Dryden rightly says that this music conveys all the suppressed emotions of a lover who has seen his fair and hateful beloved gone with someone else. Dame means damsel or a beautiful lady. Disdainful implies hateful, so this kind lover finds his beloved hateful possibly because she is uninterested in him. Stanza 6. But oh, what art can teach, what human voice can reach. The sacred organ praise, notes inspiring holy love, notes that wing their heavenly ways to mend the choirs above. In this stanza, Dryden is comparing vocal music to organ music. So here he asks that can any human voice incite the same spiritual ecstasy that can be produced by organ music. Hence, to Dryden, organ music is more significant than vocal. Because in his opinion, someone who has learned the art of singing cannot compete the sacred sound produced by a musical instrument. He says that the music of organ is more significant as it cultivates holy love, means divine love in human heart. This music of organ is so divine that it helps its player to mend his choir or song according to this spiritual ecstasy. Next stanza. Orpheus could lead the savage race, and trees unrooted left their place. Sequentius of the lyre, But bright Cecilia raised the wonder higher. In this stanza, poet is alluding from the Greek mythology. See, the myth of Cecilia has been derived from the Roman mythology, and this myth of Orpheus has been derived from the Greek mythology. Orpheus is a Greek god of music who is remembered as a player of lyre. Lyre is a musical instrument. So here we have a beautiful love story which is known as the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. Okay, so Orpheus wedded Eurydice, whom he loved from the core of his heart. And on his wedding day, he was so glad that he played a wonderful music that mesmerized everyone. And eventually, his bride Eurydice also started dancing. She forgot everything about her surroundings and danced so attentively that she stepped on a viper. Viper is a big poisonous snake. So snake bit her and she died. Orpheus became so disheartened with her death that he played a lamenting music. This music was too intense that it melted the hearts of gods and humans as well. Now, hearing such a heartwarming music of Orpheus, gods descended from heaven and suggested him for a journey to the underworld. Underworld can be taken as the abode of dead people, and according to the Greek myth, soul resides in underworld after leaving its body. So Greeks believed that Orpheus journeyed underworld and played his lyre there. This lyre enchanted the soul of his beloved and other dead souls as well. Following this music, Eurydice accompanies her husband to the world of living beings. This savage race denotes the dead souls of the underworld who got spellbound with the lyre music produced by Orpheus. See, Dryden is emphasizing over the power of music by associating it with myths and religions. Here he says that due to the moving capacity of his lyre, Orpheus could stir even the dead souls. It has been said that when he used to pass through forests, trees would uproot themselves and follow the notes of his music. Nevertheless, Dryden says that the wonders of beautiful Cecilia are superior to these miracles done by Orpheus. But bright Cecilia raised the wonder higher, when to her organ vocal breath was given, an angel heard, and straight appeared, mistaking earth for heaven. See, this stanza narrates the same story of Saint Cecilia that I told you in the beginning of this poem. Remember, while I was giving a brief introduction of the myth of Saint Cecilia. The stanza tells about the miracles of her, like how an angel who was passing through the earth heard the divine music played by her and reached near her, mistaking the place for heaven. Next stanza, Grand Chorus. As from the power of sacred lays, the spheres began to move, and sung the great Creator's praise to all the blessed above. So when the last and dreadful hour this crumbling pageant shall devour, the trumpet shall be heard on high, the dead shall live and living die, and music shall untune the sky. This is the final stanza. that has been entitled as Grand Chorus. Chorus refers to a group song usually sung in church. So, for summing up his verse form, Dryden is coming back to religion. See, he started with religion and he is ending with religion. The first stanza associates music with the creation of universe, and the final stanza talks about the devastation of this universe. Lay refers to a lyrical verse. Now, poet says that the way planets of this universe started moving with the notes of music, and the way all spheres of earth started singing about the creator of this entire universe, in the same way, this creation will end up with the final notes of this heavenly music. Dreadful hour denotes the scary hour of the destruction of this universe. No doubt the hour would be destructive because it will devour the pageant, means the graceful exhibition, which refers to the large and beautiful world. Again, the trumpet music would be played loudly, and it would be heard from all heights like it could be heard during the hour of creation. Well, Bible says that souls rest in their graves until the day of judgment comes. And finally, when this day of judgment or doomsday arrives, the souls come back to their physical forms. They become active and give a record of their deeds and misdeeds to God, and on the basis of this record, their next place is decided. Like whether they will live in heaven or hell, everything gets decided on account of the ratio between their good deeds and their sins when they were alive. Thus, this last hour has been described in Bible as the final hour of destruction that would revive the dead souls in their graves, and those who will be living at the point of time will die and contribute to that destruction. This is what the second last line means: the dead shall live and living die. Now, Dryden says that the sky, which would be echoed by those final notes of music, will be untuned, means it will absorb a long silence. So we have seen how beautifully Dryden has illustrated the power and beauty of music and how it serves as an essential part of this universe.